Most we're gonna give our praises or going on up to your Father.
Hawa, Basham Yoshai, Basham Rakakodash.
The banana to the elders and the apostles that read on stone. And shalom to the elect across the four corners of the earth. There's some brothers from the GMS Trinidad camp. And we're starting off, alright, going into out the Esau way of thinking is. Alright, this is the book of Psalms 49 and 11. The inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. And we know for a fact that this is talking about the so-called white man.
Right.
Alright? He is the devil the Bible speaks of. He is the deceiver. And he's the one who is going to be put out of power and put into his rightful place where he belongs, below everybody.
Yeah, what is that? The first thing you mentioned, the basis of men.
Yep, he's the basis of men.
Right, right. So, basically, what we want to come out here and talk about in this video is that what? True Esau pride is being deceived greatly. Because what? He has no idea what's coming for him in these last days. But because of the mindset that he has, he is not seeing it. He's not seeing that the Lord with that, we talk about that spacecraft outside of its orbit, where they say it was 7 miles long, or half the size of the sun, or whatever it is. Them can't fight that, them ain't ready for that. But in the heart and in the mind, they truly believe that they're ready. Why? They see a fucked up man in the head. Lord Israel fuck with him and put a lot of spiritual illusions on Esau to make him believe that the things he want to do, he's going to accomplish.
Because there is be dealing up with these spirits as well.
Right, right.
And these spirits is not deceiving them. Alright, Satan will tell them, yeah, well, you're ready, boy, I'm cheap. You're ready, boy.
God, you think God could do anything to you? Boy, you could warn you and win, boy. And then make a whole doctrine off of that. But what they truly believe they could warn the Lord. And then they are Ezekiel 28 and verses 1. The word of the Lord came unto me, so it came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem shall power, because thine heart is lifted up, and when it's the soul that is lifted up, is not of right in me. And thou hast said, I am a power, I sit in the seat of power in the midst of the seas. Yet thou art a man, so you never know where to replace. And your mind is God, but really is just a man. I'm not God.
Esau is a mere man.
Mortal.
You is like less of a man. Right? You was in the cave crawling with your humpback, right? Eating raw, all kind of raw shit. You understand? You all was in a beastly state.
Was they still are? They still are. You still see some of them today acting like friend. Like dogs, like you always had the woman who you walk around. And she answer, yeah.
Yes. I don't know if you ever see that video. It's about evil mind woman, and she's looked like a demon. That best she feels
like a creature. Like a creature.
Like
No, Babylon.
In Babylon. Well, I believe she's in Babylon because she famous for that. Actually walking on the place on all fours.
Yeah, it still has some of them so, but you know what, some of them they in the high seat, they don't want to play, you understand?
Yeah, like that, like them was in the wild and on the evil times.
Yeah.
But you know who he is. Continuing, though thou set thine heart as the heart of power, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel, and they will deception coming in. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thy traffic, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic, thou hast increased in riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
Right, and he got it by deceit, as well as murder and rape, right?
Robbing.
Slaughtering. You understand? This man hasn't gotten anything in righteousness. He gained it by wickedness,
Right.
by the sword.
And because he met us, because he modus operandi does work out for him, again, his heart is lifted up. In his mind, there is no one that can harm him. He knows all, he sees all, he does what he wants. And we'd say, the precept in Ecclesiastes, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, it is set in the hearts of the sons of men to do wickedness continually. So what? They're doing what they want and nothing is happening to them. So what? They believe that they could do what they want continually. But in the last days to come, they're not ready for the war. They're really not. They are Psalms 55 and verses, let me see here. No, is it 55? No, I think that sounds 50.
50.
Where it says,
From 16.
I was altogether.
Grab it here. Turn ready.
Yeah, read from verses 20. Read verse 21.
On it. Boom, boom, boom. In Psalms 50 and verse 21.
Yeah.
These things hast thou done.
Like all the wickedness I do just what about Ezekiel 21.
Thou slandest thine own slack. These things hast thou done, and I kept silent.
Right?
Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself.
Because he's keeping silent, not bringing the judgment yet. Again, you have the example in Genesis, the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. So the cup wasn't full as yet for the Lord to pour it back onto them. Esau right now in full the cup yet. So what? They believe that right now they could do what they want. Right?
But I will prove thee,
Right?
and set them in order before thine
So
eyes.
what? Now we understand who we are. Esau and Edom is the most proud nation, proud man in the earth today. And the Lord not bringing judgment on them as yet. So what? Their heart lifted up.
Right. And what scripture comes to mind when it says, he will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes?
What come to mind?
What's gonna be the beginning of that? Because like the scriptures say, then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness. The Lord is setting us up before his eyes and he cannot do nothing about it. All the violence, he cannot do nothing about it. Because this is the Lord's doing. Like the scriptures say, if this was of man, it would have come to naught.
Right.
But this is of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. That is why they cannot interfere with this. They cannot do nothing against the truth but for the truth. Go ahead.
A precept here is Job 15. Boom.
Yeah.
In Job 15 and 21. A dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity the destroyer shall come upon him.
Because Salah again, Esau was really he started at what? 1967, 1970.
69.
69 Salah. Abolivins came onto the scene and what he do? He revived the truth in the earth, turned the sons and the fathers, turned the hearts of the fathers to the sons, and hearts of the sons to the fathers. When you read that precept in Revelation, it says, after their dead bodies lay in the cities called spiritually
Solomon in Egypt.
what happened? The spirit of life entered into them and what?
They stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon the men that saw them.
Right, so the great fear, what Esau believe he ready for, but I don't have a clue about starting this doctrine. Every time this doctrine come out into the earth and the Lord bring back the spirit of truth into the world, Esau lost the war and they're not even aware. Them right now, them anywhere knock out and then the face cough out and they're not even aware because the Lord had them in our days. They believe that wherever the Lord gonna bring, if they even believe the Lord bringing anything, then we could fight it or fight against it.
Just say, you guys sit in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision.
Right.
So the Lord is gonna mock his ass. And he's gonna do it through his men. Right? You talking about that being older than time. He know you more than you know yourself. He know the scripture said the very hairs of your head are numbered. Right? You know where Esau. That just show you this man really under a heavy delusion.
Man.
Because he's gonna be afraid to fight when he see the Lord and jealous, because the scripture said they was yet afraid yet does fight.
They were so afraid that this one. Yeah.
So even though they're gonna be afraid, the Lord is still gonna let them fight, and they're gonna be destroyed brutally.
Right.
Alright, the scripture said nothing was perceived of them except the
Dust and smell of
smell
smoke.
Right. Right.
You ever seen some of them cartoons when a man gets slapped with a laser beam?
Yes.
And you just
Disintegrate.
Disintegrate. Yeah.
Yeah, that gonna be Esau and the warships.
Right.
I'm more in Job 15, Job 15 and 22. He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, and he is waited for, and he is waited for of the sword. He wandereth abroad for bread, saying, where is it? He knoweth that the day of darkness is ready at his hand. Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid. They shall prevail against him as a king ready to the battle. For he stretcheth out his hand against power, and strengtheneth himself against the Almighty.
So again, he cried, but it's gonna cause him to fall, because where somebody thinks you know it's gonna bring about
144.
where somebody thinks you know gonna bring about in these last days that Esau can't fight against. Like one of my favorites, so 29 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury may also strokes in the time of destruction, the time we headed into now. They pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail, famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts, who even with this precept that have the precept, their services come for something in on fire. The man San Antonio, man fuck up your ass in these last days. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and the sword punishing the wicked and surrounding them to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and we're going to be commandment to lay judgment on this place. And they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when the time has come, they shall not transgress his word. When we read the book of Ezekiel 9, when the Lord will loose the spirits on the city to bring destruction, and kill every man, spare none, except they which be that have the mark in their foreheads. At the end of Ezekiel 9, verses 11, it says, the man with the writer's ink on reported the matter, and he said, what? It is done. So what? When the war start, Esau dead. It have no stopping the Lord. But what? Again, you don't know that you're not ready. You don't. What else you're not ready for? Well, they Jeremiah 16 and read in verses 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahweh, and they shall fish them, and after that I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. We know Amos chapter 9 speaks about what? We shall rise the tabernacle of David that is fallen and build it in the days of old. The house of David shall be as God, and
the mighty man shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God.
He that, the scripture say, he that is feeble among them shall be as David.
He that is feeble among them shall be as David too.
Shall be as God, as the angel among them in Psalm 9. So, like he kind of is basically talking about the power that the Lord is going to bestow upon his men that believe on him and that wait upon him. Right? So, the Jeremiah 16 and 16, the Lord is going to send for many hunters. Right now he's sending for fishers. The fishing period is going on now. And he's going to send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every hill. Right? And out of the holes of the rocks. That's going into these underground bunkers. Wherever they're hiding. Right? They are going to be captured and put to death. Right? By the men of the by the hunters of the world.
Because I mean, all the fishers, then it said hunters. So why is it that Esau believes he's ready for the Lord? When he's not really ready. because he underestimated the power of the Lord, and the Lord allowed him to do that. It is. Remember, the Lord is going to have all that power in this day and time of no retreat in the world. Don't worry, you fear them men. Before, when I prophet you so upon your tongue, everybody would see, you're going to see the shaking and the boots. Why? Because I know Jeremiah 28:8. They prophesied the downfall of many great kingdoms. They prophesied of war, pestilence, and all these things. They didn't prophesy of nothing nice. So when they grow up, men used to fear them, but now Esau's done a great work in the world, and they done the job well. The what they have these prophets of no repute. They have that everybody believe that they shouldn't fear these men. But the Lord going to put the spirit of fear on everybody who does not fear these men because of these men. Why? Because Isaiah 59, so shall we fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, Revelation 12 again, the devil is come down unto you with great wrath, because he know that he had but a short time. So what? When he comes down, the men of the Lord shall be defended. The spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. Now we're not too sure what our standard is, because it could manifest itself in many different things. It is Daniel 12 and verse 1.
It's divine intervention, that is what it is.
And that could manifest itself in different things. Whether it is, you could see a miracle that an angel perform, you could see a chariot fly down and place on them, and the men are the other state. Or we favorite who we believe, very heavily believe in these last days, is that spiritual power coming to you men. Michael going to stand in these last days, he's going to fight for you as well. What happened when the spirit and God descended upon Samson? He take a drum, one of an ass, and killed what it was, and hundreds of people. What going to happen in these last days? Because the spirit and God going to be heavy on you men in these last days, because it's going to have to be to give the men and God and these state. You think Esau ready for that? Esau think he robot soldiers and he AI, people think about them. When you say check a man in the last days, people think you have full control over that man, you have to check, you like send that man and you see men and no, he believes that all the devices that he have in the world today, he ready to fight wherever it is you want to bring in. And that is just not the case. He shall not prevail.
I precept that there.
Right.
Book of John chapter 14, I read from verse 11. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. And what Yahweh shall I do? Yahweh shall do marvelous things. Yahweh shall raise the dead. Yahweh shall turn water into wine. Yahweh shall take five bread and 2 fishes, I believe it was, or five fish and 2 5 loaves and 2 fish, and he feed the multitude. He feed 5,000 men besides women and children. Yahweh shall walk on water. So imagine what he men will and do in these times to glorify him.
Yep. That is how we're gonna. That is how. Like the scripture says, the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. That is how we're gonna take the kingdom. To bind up the kings and the nobles with chains and fetters of iron. You will be flying out like Superman. You grab a man by the neck, you chain him up, right? You understand? And you're gonna be rounding him up for slavery. You're the only ones who survive, right? This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. For the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. Right? Because like the scripture say, for violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. Esau did nothing but violence, and the scripture say, because thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So this man is going to be taken up by violence. You look at things like Homeland and Omni Man, right? It's going to be gory, it's going to be violence. That is how Esau going to be taken up by violence. That is how his kingdom is going to go down by violence. Right? They're going to get red bloody.
It is that numbers 33, 35 or 35, 33, it's the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that has been shed, but by the blood of him that shed it, there can't be any bloody seed. It have to be.
Scripture say he that shedded man's blood shall man's by him shall man's blood be shed, but people are freezing.
And Esau again, he really not ready for that. He think he ready, but he not really ready. It was the one Solomon tree, and we go from verses 5. Having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded, for power proved them, and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace had to try them, and receive them as a burnt
Yeah, I'll
offering.
piece of that after he says it.
And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. You know what? You know Esau gonna be for stubble. So
I bet you.
sparks.
I
The
bet you.
sparks have to be Jacob. What it is the Lord gonna do to he men that gonna have a description like this written and fulfilled? Because we have never seen this fulfilled. So what gonna happen in the last days? It is, verse 8. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over their people, over their people, and their Lord shall reign forever. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he has cared for his elect. Right.
So you understand? I did that?
I'll piece of that real quick. Because I said about these sparks going and run among the stubble, right to and fro among the stubble. Over that 1 and 18.
Right.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, like the sparks, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh Shai had spoken it.
The Lord has spoken it, and the Lord is not a man and he should lie. If the Lord say Esau, your red backside is going to be exterminated, your red backside is going to be exterminated. And you cannot stop that. You cannot make no time machine and go back and revive the good right and no.
They're in our cartoon.
Esau stop it.
You know, as I say now, coming in my mind, because I didn't think that many men have in spiritual power. You could go back to evidences in scripture. David mighty men. When them went for them killing men by the hundreds. They said David, so he saw the thousands, David
10,000s.
What only men in the house? It is
But now who then stop slewing. So you slew 800 men and he had cleaved to his sword.
Because what? Think about it. Simeon Toko. He said, what? It's more like me coming in it. The greatest John the Revelator on the Isle of Patmos, chopping off the head and he just living. What when God bring that spirit back in you? Because you know it happened. It happened with John and you have evidence so it happened with Simeon Toko. They're killing you, chopping the body parts and stuffing it in bags and selling one part to China, selling next one to Thailand, selling next one to America, selling next one to the West Indies, and he just coming out.
Yeah, he just before me back like a mutant.
What when that happened? Is real TV thing going on
Like
in last
Deadpool.
Deadpool. Is a real TV thing going on in these last days. He's so making movies about it and he's still not ready fit.
He really truly get him into the scriptures too.
Yep.
That's where it all comes from anyway.
Batman. David mighty then, like Batman. But when you don't really bring Batman, when you really sound that alarm and you see that bat symbol, what's going on? Then you're not ready to fight. They're not really gonna be ready. But they say that's something they can not.
I didn't do that.
That's it. Alright, so with that, we're gonna give our praises all going on. So yeah,
Kawa, Bashem Shai, Bashem Kakodash.
double honors to the elders and the apostles of Big Stone. Shalom to the
Shalom to the elect.